Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer and today I have a crazy story. Something that happened to me a couple of weeks ago while I was still living in California, because yes, I have moved. Finally, I am out of California and now I'm living in San Antonio, Texas. I'm probably gonna make a video about that, about what life is like here in San Antonio, but for now, let's focus on this crazy story. I was attacked by a transient. Well, I think it was transient. Could have been just like a crazy person, but you'll hear. And actually I have two stories of crazy people slash potentially homeless people being crazy on the streets. So I'm gonna start with the crazier story and then the second craziest. Okay, so this was on a Friday in the afternoon in Santa Ana, California, which is where I lived. I invited a friend out to meet me for a snack and for a drink. And we actually met up at 3 p.m., which was when the restaurant opened. And 3 p.m. on a Friday, there's not really that many people at any restaurant, because it's not lunchtime and it's also not like 5 p.m. when people get off from work. So the place was actually quite empty. It was just me and my friend and then a couple other people at some other tables. So my friend, she ordered French fries and we're talking, we're like, I don't know, maybe like 45 minutes into our conversation when I see this person walk up to the restaurant, because the restaurant's on a second floor. And the person caught my eye just because it was a woman. She was walking kind of like cautiously into the restaurant, but based on her outfit, which was very casual, I thought maybe she worked at this place. It's a bar slash restaurant. Because I was like, if she's alone, why would somebody come to a bar by themselves? I mean, it's not impossible, but usually people. But also I was like, if she's showing up by herself, she's probably getting to her shift or something. I don't know. Those are like the assumptions you make in the moment. It's not like I was dwelling on this. So I just kind of saw her from the corner of my eye. Cut to about 10 minutes later, I'm just talking to my friend. She's like sitting across from me and the fries are in the middle. And this woman that I had seen earlier comes up to me and stands right next to me. And so I thought, oh, like my suspicions are confirmed, this person works here. And she starts talking to us. So I'm gonna tell you exactly what she said. Well, maybe not word for word, but so she's like, hi, thank you so much for your patronage. I just wanted to thank you for your business. And then she gets like extremely close to me. Like at first she was standing like here, and then she gets like super close. Like I actually have to inch away from her because she got like completely in my personal space. So she's like there, and she's like, then she whispers something. She's like, but actually this place is evil and this business is, I don't know what she said. Well, the name of the restaurant was called Native Son. So she said something like she was of native heritage, and I'm not sure what she said because it was all so fast, but something like this place is just taking up, using the word native for their profit advantage, but they don't actually give back to the native community or something like that. And my friend, I could see my friend, she was pulling back a little bit because she also did not like the rhetoric that this woman was using, which was very anti-business. But it all happened so fast. Like she spoke to us like less than a minute, and I'm just like this. When she started saying those like anti-business things, I was about to say like, okay, I don't want to talk to you, but I didn't have time, because what she did was like, when she was saying like, again, and this business doesn't support, this business is evil or something, she said something like, well, so thank you very much for not supporting them. And she dipped her whole hand, not like went like this. She dipped her whole hand into the bowl of fries, grabbed like, I don't know, like a bunch of fries, and like dipped them like aggressively into the like little bowl of ketchup that was there, and took a bite, but not like a regular bite. Let's say this is my face. She turned to me and went like that, bit into the fries while looking at me for some reason, and I was just like, stop. That's when I finally reacted. I was like, no, stop. But like there was nothing to do. She just sprinted away. Like, she didn't run, but she rushed away. Like, she came to do what she was wanting to do, which was like upset us and take our fries, and then she walked away. And I was like, I had no time to react, and I was so mad. And I'm just looking around like, what the fuck happened? I look at my friend, I'm like, what the hell just happened? And she's like, I don't know. We're like shook to the core. And I turn around and I'm looking at the bar like I feel betrayed, like, because I thought this woman was their employee. And so they're looking at me and they come, you know, the bartenders, and they're like, what did she just say? And I was like, she just took our fries and was spewing all these words about like she doesn't like you guys, this business, and I thought she worked here. And they're like, oh no, she doesn't work here. We thought she was with you guys because she came alone and she went to your table. And we're like, no, we don't know her. And so basically they were like, oh, I'm so sorry. And obviously it wasn't their fault that she took our fries, but they did bring us a fresh batch, and they asked for a description, like how did she look like. And I was like, okay, yeah, she was like this tall, short hair, a little bit chubby. She acted odd, so she could have been either a normal person or a transient. Oh my god, the light outside the windows changing. That's why you see the color changing. I like to use windows as my main source of light, but it doesn't work when the clouds are moving like crazy. Anyways, and so they're like, okay, yeah, we'll keep an eye out. And I'm just like, what's her problem? Basically just like, she hates the business because they use the word native and she has native heritage. I have no idea what she said, but it was really disturbing. And it's actually not the first time that I've had to deal with a crazy person from the street just being disrupted. A few weeks prior to that incident, I was hanging out with a different friend, not in Santa Ana, but in Santa Monica, right? Santa Monica Beach, also in California. And so me and my friend were just chilling. We were bar hopping and like had some drinks, only like 2 or 3 drinks. And after that we were like, okay, let's walk back to where we first got dropped off on the Uber so that we could go home. And it was gonna be a really long walk. We didn't think things through. Anyways, we were walking we had 2 different experiences with 2 homeless people. One good and then one bad one. The first homeless guy was like, I don't know what he was saying, but he was kind of saying like, oh, isn't it a beautiful day to be outside? And I was like, yeah, we're bar hopping and we're going home now. And he's like, yeah, that's great. Just like some casual banter, and he like drove away on his bike. And then we keep walking, and like less than 5 minutes later, we hear someone shouting like, like kind of like how a person with Tourette's shouts, you know, they're just like, get out of my way, bitch, or hey, I'm gonna kill you all. Okay, no, he didn't say anything like I'm gonna kill you all, but he sounded like he was shouting aggressive things. I don't know what he was shouting, but I was like, oh my god. But my friend, this specific friend, she's very like progressive, and she tries to be very empathetic towards the underprivileged, which includes, you know, the homeless people. And she was like, oh, I always wonder what it's like from their perspective, you know, like what's it like from their point of view. And I was like, oh, I don't know. If he has Tourette's, it's probably like something he cannot control. Or if it's not Tourette's, then he's just like a violent person. And she's like, well, yeah, but I still want to know, you know, how it feels for them. Well, anyway, she's saying those things, how she like is interested in seeing how it looks from her perspective. And she's very calm, and so am I, because the guy is like across the street, a block away. Right? Like not a threat to us. So we keep on walking for another 10 minutes, and I don't know how, but we ended up on the same street with that guy, you know, after we had seen him. We're on a different street, and we know that it's him because we can hear him shouting behind us. But we're like, he's behind us, like, who cares? Like, we just keep walking forward. But I guess the guy was moving faster, and so he got close enough to us that he was basically behind my friend and he wanted to keep going through, but my friend was blocking him. I mean, the street is narrow. I mean, the sidewalk is narrow, like, you know, you only two people can walk on it, and if someone else is coming, you have to, you know, move aside. So he's right behind my friend and he's like, "Oh, bitch." And she's like, "Whoa." But he didn't say "move, bitch." He actually said something like much more offensive, something like "move, you cum whore." Yeah, something like that. Which was obviously like disgusting. And she was like, she moved obviously because she doesn't want to like a confrontation, and she's trying to be chill, but she said something back to him. She's like, "Oh, that's not even an original insult." And he was like, "Oh yeah, oh wait, I'm distracted because there's a dog in the house next door." Anyways, he was like, "Oh yeah, you shut up, you come whore. I'm gonna shut your mouth, you come whore, move out of the way, you bitch." Like, I don't know, he was rambling and like insulting her, and she just kind of like she quieted down and let him through. And I was like, okay, just wait for him to go. Just, you know, like low key, I said, like, just wait for him to leave. And we waited for a few seconds until he walked away. And then I'm like, you know, that was the same guy we saw earlier. And she's like, he was? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, weird. But I don't know, it's just crazy. There are crazy people out there. Luckily, I didn't get insulted by the guy, but I still didn't enjoy seeing my friend berated by some crazy person on the street, some crazy transient. I don't know how you say it, but yeah. So that's the story. The moral of the story is that be on the lookout and just keep a friendly distance from weirdos. And you know what? My other regret is that I didn't chase after that freak who took the fries from us. I wish because I was so stunned, right? But I wish I would have like kind of chased after her from a safe distance and like call the police at that same moment. Be like, this person just you know, describe what she did. I don't know if the police would get involved in something like that, but that she's definitely like violating our personal space, taking our stuff without consent. And I don't know, for me, she's a threat. Like, I wouldn't say put her in jail for that, but like at least somebody should, you know, make a note like, this person has done these kinds of attacks on people at restaurant, you know, just so they keep an eye on her in case she escalates, right? So just that's the thing that I regret I didn't do. But anyways, that was my story. And yeah, I hope I don't have to deal with more crazies on the street. And I will be back again with some other story or with like a blog about living in San Antonio. And of course, more sketches. I know I don't post consistently, but you know, I always have new stuff coming up. Anyways, thank you for watching and goodbye.